Gotta love sports.
Welcome to The Playbook, where we're talking sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Mina SayWhat, and we're 100% digital, 100% live, and 100% real. Let's count them down. Fresh off my vacation from Greece, we are back. It is The Playbook, our digital sports show. I'm your host, Mina SayWhat. So I went on vacation, and it seems like everyone got busy on me. We don't have Sean or Terrell this week, but welcoming AB once more to the show, host of the Open Gym podcast. Hey, B.
How y'all doing? How you doing, Mina? What's going on?
I know you got 1,000 jobs like me, so anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I mean, nothing, man. Just same old. Just Open Gym podcast. Make sure y'all check that out, man. Something coming real special real soon, for sure.
So, AB, a lot happened. I was in Greece, and
I
literally missed, like, first of all, there's a 7-hour time difference. So when games are airing at 7, 8 o'clock at night, it's like 3 a.m. over there. And then the whole March Madness, college basketball thing was going on. So I felt like I missed a part of that whole excitement just because I was in another country. But the excitement is back because we're in the playoffs.
Yes. We back. We're here.
Let's hop into Philly plays. The NBA playoffs are set. These are the teams that made the cut. I love this time of year because coming off of March college basketball, then we go right into the playoffs, and then baseball starts off again. So these are the teams. Now we know the play-in tournament has been a thing in the recent years, which makes it a little bit more exciting, more competitive. Yeah. These teams that are on the bottom of the standings kind of have to battle like 300 battle like the movie 300 to get into the tournament. So that's what we're seeing on the side here. Now, no disrespect to any team on here, but we're Philly people. We follow Sixers. Obviously, AB has the Eagles Super Bowl championship banner in the background.
All that.
So we're really concerned with Brooklyn. Now, this is coming up pretty fast. Tomorrow, the play-in tournament starts. Here's the schedule. There it is. Man, Brooklyn and Cleveland.
Listen.
7 o'clock tomorrow.
That's a tricky one. I'm not gonna. I still got Brooklyn edging out that one, but Cleveland, they definitely a sneaky team, man. They definitely young. They don't care. My thing is these young cats today. They don't care. They don't have any reference. They not sitting there saying, "Oh, that's LeBron James. Oh, that's James." No, they don't care. You see what Darius Garland did to us as many times as we played them this year. So it's like, I'm not saying they're gonna beat them, but I mean, they're gonna give them a run for their money though. But we talk about a winning UN type of situation. Yeah, Kevin Durant, Kyrie not letting that happen though, for sure.
Can we go back to the regular bracket? Because say Brooklyn wins this, they're going up against Boston.
Yep.
Which would mean it would probably be the Bucks in Brooklyn, unless we see a major upset with Chicago. But we're probably going to see this Bucks and Brooklyn game that we literally just saw 2 weeks ago, where the Bucks beat Brooklyn. We're probably going to see that all over again.
I mean, essentially, it's possible. Like you said, they first got to get past Boston, which Boston definitely has.
You want to talk about sneaky team? That's a sneaky team.
Yeah,
they came out of nowhere and popped up to 2. And I was like, wait a minute. Boston wasn't in the conversation at all. And then all of a sudden popped up in there thanks to Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the year, you seen it. They couldn't even buy a win early on in the year. They was ready to trade Marcus Smart. Al Horford was on his way out the door. They were talking about trading one of Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. So it's like, for them to come back in a furious manner that they did, and no one really thinking they would have, obviously with the old coach being the GM now and everything. But I mean, they there, and they definitely. I can see them being Brooklyn for sure, though. Once Brooklyn get past Cleveland, getting into that spot for sure. Now that's gonna be the matchup before they get to the Bucks.
I just need Brooklyn or the Bucks eliminated. And I feel like I'm having deja vu because I literally said this last year. Same thing. I just need them to play each other.
Yeah. And leave the hard part out of the way for us. Make
Right.
our route as easy as possible, but we didn't do
Our route,
ourselves no favor as well.
I was gonna say our route is not easy. Because
At all.
even if the if Philly gets over Toronto, we're gonna have to see Miami, the number one
Yeah.
team, Jimmy
Yeah.
Butler,
Yeah. Jimmy
who
Butler,
should have been on
Bam
our team,
Adebayo.
but we're not gonna go there.
You about to start me already, Mina. Stop it. Stop it. You triggering me already.
All right, let's get into that series. Actually, no, let's actually talk about round one too. Round one starts on Saturday, April
Yeah.
16th. This is what we're looking like all weekend. It's just gonna be basketball.
And I
Ladies,
love
don't plan nothing.
I'm not going nowhere.
Don't
I'm
plan
not
nothing.
seeing your auntie, your uncle, nothing.
Right.
I'm staying right here watching basketball.
All weekend. It's Easter too. They're gonna be like, you want to go Easter egg hunting? Hell no, the playoffs
Nope.
are on.
It's a shortage on eggs anyway, ain't it? So we ain't got no Easter egg hunting going
Not
on
a
anyway.
shortage on eggs.
For sure. It should be a good weekend, dog. I'm looking forward to it. And like you said, this new playoff method, we all know it's just to draw interest to get more eyes on the team. But I like it. You know, like you said, the 7th, 18 playing, whoever wins that, they get the 7th spot. Then the loser of that 7-8 round get to play the winner of that 9th and 10 matchup. So they still get another chance to fight for that last spot. So
Right.
it should be very interesting these upcoming Tuesday and Wednesday for sure. And I'm happy that the Sixers is a part of this madness that's going on for sure.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the Sixers a little bit more in depth. So this Philadelphia-Toronto series, the Sixers ended up finishing 4th in the East. Above us was the Bucks,
Yep.
then Boston, then Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat.
The Miami Jimmy Butlers.
Not the rest of the team, just Jimmy Butler. So we're, as the 4th team in the East, we're going up against the 5th seeded Raptors. This is not, I repeat, this is not the matchup that I wanted. I would have much rather play Chicago, which I think is easier. But you know, you want to talk about a sneaky team. Toronto is a sneaky team. I much rather have. We were literally tied with Boston and the Bucks in the end. If we would have won one more game, we would have played Chicago, and it would have been an easier road for us. But this is a hard road. The Raptors are good. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Well, like you said, this is probably the least matchup I wanted to see us play against for sure. Because they do the one thing that we don't excel at in defending is energy and effort. They do not stop running. They do not stop jumping. They do not stop attacking. And we all know, we watched the Sixers a long time this season. Teams that run a lot and have energy, get them offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. Those are things that hurt us. And we seen it in the last game with the Raptors. We started off hot. We was up 15 points. And then that second half came around. They just outworked us.
Siakam came in that second half.
37, 12, and 12. But he didn't stop. And the quintessential play was at the end where basically the icing on the cake, he shot the ball, missed it, and got his own rebound, put back, and won. But that's who the Raptors are. They don't give up. They gritty. They fight. And that was without two of their main guys that they used.
VanVleet wasn't on the floor. Yep.
Exactly. So now you got to worry about them as well on the floor. And I see the interesting stat today, actually, which is a starting 5 of the Toronto Raptors. They all average 15 points once again this season. So now you're talking about energy and effort, and they're actually being able to score the basketball as well. How you have your starting 5 averaging 15 points this year, which is a major thing. So the Sixers going to have their work cut out for them. They got some time off, a good while off, a little more than a week before they see them. But definitely they're going to have to bring their A game from start to finish. And we can't have these losing lead types of games. We get up, put your foot in their neck, and get them out of there for sure.
Yeah, so Shaq has us sweeping. I don't think we're sweeping them, to be honest. I mean,
Heck
Toronto
no.
beat us in the last 3 out of the 4 contests that we've
Yep.
had against them. Now, I do want to point out Joel did not play in one of these games because of
Hmm.
COVID. But again, we have not seen Van Vliet play us. He hasn't been on the court. I think the last 2 times we played them,
Yep.
he
Yep.
hasn't been on the court. And Siakam is a beast. And here's the thing. We need to play defense with this team. The only reason the stats that you mentioned that Siakam even had that many points was
Hmm.
because they were leaving him open. And I'm like, hello, can we get some defense? And this was the game that James Harden was driving me crazy because, sir, put a hand up. You see
Something.
him scoring put a hand up.
Tobias
So
Harris also getting flamed.
Tobias too, and that's what makes me nervous about this team. This team hustles. If you don't put a hand in their face, they're gonna knock down that open shot.
Yep.
And I feel really nervous about this. Okay. And it'll be interesting to see how Doc Rivers adjusts because there's a lot of criticism right now when it comes to Doc. And regardless of all his accolades and all his wins, a lot of people say that he cannot get it done in the playoffs. So it's like we're going to need to see it now, especially after last year and the way that the Sixers left off last year.
Yep.
I'm going to need some strategy on the coaching staff to figure out how A, we could shut down Siakam, and then B, what we're going to do defensively to keep these guys in check. Because to your point, this is the thing, and it just isn't with the Raptors. We're up and then we lose it.
Yep.
And this is consistent. And we usually lose it around when the second team comes in. So,
and, and and that's where it comes down to. And you said it. This year for me, more than anything, is going to be coaching. We don't have the excuse of Ben Simmons being here anymore. You can't blame him for not scoring. You have James Harden now. You have adequate players around you. You got a perennial All-Star, future Hall of Famer, MVP candidate in Joel Embiid. It's all about what you do, how you putting the players in the position, and we've seen it time and time again. Once that rotation start, when you starting to have to sub different people in, and you start putting in guys like Kirk Miles against them and Shake Milton and stuff like that, it's like I don't get it. Or even DeAndre Jordan, we all know has been the talk of the town as of late right now, as far as who's going to back up Joel Embiid in those
right.
minutes, and wanting some young, fresh legs out there like a Paul Reed. Doc just stuck in his ways. He likes the veterans. He likes to play Danny Green more than 20 minutes. He likes to play DeAndre more than 13 minutes. Like stuff like that has to change because Nick Nurse on the other side of Toronto is a very good coach, a very, very good coach. For them to sustain as much success after post Kawhi Leonard leaving and them
Yeah.
still being in the conversation in the playoffs and really having a chance to make some noise, that's a testament to coaching. So I know all the wins and everything Doc Rivers gets. I understand it. You can win a lot of games, but what matters and what etches stone in history is playoff time, and that's where you got to make your money at.
And you know what I'm not looking forward to? Seeing Drake on the sideline with his
Oh
little
my
damn
God.
braids,
Oh
damn near
my.
on the court trying to shoot threes. I am not looking forward to that.
That's probably the most annoying part about watching
Sir,
Raptors
sit down.
basketball.
You are not in the
Yes,
game.
yes. Just because you're a little Raptors ambassador, the one needs you screaming and hollering, and you sit down, man. Sit down. Oh God.
All
Oh
right. So
man.
my major concern with this is going to be defense. I
Yes.
know a lot of people think coaching, but for me, it's really defense. And the reason why is one of our best defensive players will not be playing for half the series. Matisse Thybulle is not fully vaccinated. Now, recently in Canada, they are requiring anyone who comes into the country to be fully vaccinated. This is what Matisse had to say about his decision not to be vaccinated. He said he grew up with Chinese medicine and neuropathic doctors. And just with that upbringing coming into the situation, I felt like I had a solid foundation of medical resources that could serve me beyond what this vaccine could do for me. So apparently he did get the first shot because he was concerned about getting other people sick and not contracting the disease. But like a lot of us, we started to figure out after getting this first shot, you can still transmit the virus.
Yeah.
So that's when he was like, okay, pull back, did not get the second shot. In Toronto, in Canada, you have to be fully vaccinated. So that one shot's not going to be enough. Last year he was what, second team all defense?
All defense, yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So and obviously Ben was our first team all defensive player. Danny Green is a great defensive player for us, although he doesn't score a lot, and Joel is as well. But when you don't have those three guys on the court, we have a major problem. How bad is this going to hurt us?
It's definitely going to be important. I would not sit here and say it's not, because we just mentioned it earlier. You had Van Fleet that's coming back, who is I mean, for him to be undrafted to do the things that he's doing in the NBA, for sure, definitely he's going to be a problem to
And he's
tend
an
to.
all-star. He's an
And all,
all-star. Let's be
exactly,
clear.
exactly, and he can give you 30 on any given night by himself, for sure. And then just the way that this team plays in general, with the energy and the effort that they play with, on top of being able to score, you're going to have to be able to slow some of these players down. Like you say, Siakam just went off at 37, 12, and 12. If you're going to have that, you can have Van Fleet behind them also giving you 37 as well.
Right.
So that's going to be a big blow for this team. I think overall, our defense, if we come with that's why I say coaching is going to matter, because the mindset and how you go and prepare for a game it takes after who your coach is, essentially, like that. We all know Doc Rivers is a lax coach. He doesn't practice hard. He doesn't get on his players a
Damn, you
lot.
throwing shots at Doc.
This not me. This documented, baby. This is documented. This is known. Players even came out and said it. Like, we all know Doc is they like playing with him because he's a player's coach. They classify him as a player's coach.
Because he was a player.
Exactly. So he doesn't get on him as you think he should. But this is not the time to do that. And like you said, missing such an integral part in their defense, and Matisse Thybulle, who guards the best player on the other team, is definitely going to hurt. The paint, like you said, and be the man it down, but collectively on the perimeter, I know we like to switch a lot. We're going to have to come up with some different ideas, maybe blitzing the ball handler off of pick and rolls and things of that nature like that. But we're going to have to switch it up just a little bit. And you said it's all about versatility. It's all about your rotations, and it's all about your strategy going into the game to try to combat the energy and the effort that we know Toronto's going to give you each and every night.
Yeah, and this is going to put extra pressure on the rest of the team, right?
Yes.
Joel's going to have to play more minutes. Doc Rivers has already said that. And I'm looking at Danny Green now. You know,
he's going to be in that spot.
And Danny Green's going to move back into that starting five for these away games. And I'm looking to see more from Danny Green defensively, and then also offensively, even though Matisse isn't a big offensive threat for us, but lately Danny Green has been knocking down some threes, and I'm like, okay, Danny, we getting ready for the
playoffs. He likes that Toronto gym for sure.
Right. So I'm looking for more from Danny Green, which has not been my favorite player, but I'm looking for him to really step into that aura that he has around him. I've won 3 championship rings. Show us why. Show us why. Okay.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Tobias Harris has to just be consistent. And it's like, it's not the same Tobias game to game. So, and then of course, I need James Harden to put a hand up.
I need James Harden to just show up in some way, capacity. Like, I've been disappointed. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been disappointed these past couple of weeks by him, for sure.
Well, maybe this is where he turns it up, right? In positive news, Joel Hans Embiid has now won the NBA scoring title. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He clinched the NBA scoring title on Sunday to become the first Sixer and first international player ever to top the league since Allen Iverson did this 17 years ago. I had this joke with my boyfriend. I'm like, look, if nothing else this season, at least Joel has the scoring title. Hopefully this will perpetuate him to be the MVP this year. And at least that.
Yeah, got something to cheer for sure.
Right. That's exactly. A lot of people had been having conversations about Joel. It just really bothers me how, okay, the Joker won the award last year, right? Let someone else win. And it's like, people really discount Joel sometimes when they're having this conversation. I'm like, this is a big guy doing amazing things. Although, the Joker as well, but this is a big guy playing phenomenally. It's his time, and hopefully this scoring title will propel him to win that MVP honor as well.
I'm gonna tell you one thing though. Looking at that, and it frustrates me. And I was kind of feeling bad for Embiid that he had to actually talk to the media and try to put himself out there to let them know like why he should win the title. Because what was the biggest thing last year of him not being able to win?
He didn't
The time
play
on the court.
and now he played.
And stats are way higher and better than it was the previous year. So you're telling me I didn't play enough games? I played more games and risen my stats from last year, but you still talking about Joker. And like you said, don't get me wrong, Joker is an excellent player, but you're not telling me just because Joker can pass the ball that makes him much better. He went through the fiasco with Ben Simmons during the time he wasn't here, having to right the ship. We're still in the playoffs because of Joel Embiid. And like you just said, he won a scoring title, which he wasn't even. People don't realize he wasn't even going for that this year. It just kind of fell into his lap because he was playing at such an elite level. Who gets double teamed every night, triple teamed every night, quadruple teamed every night. I was talking to friends throughout the week. If you could go back and just look at tape of Joker, he doesn't get double teamed at all. And so you mean to tell me Joel Embiid, who gets double, triple teamed every night, still putting up these type of numbers? There's no way you can sit here and put anyone above Joel Embiid, especially this season. If we're talking particularly this season for MVP, for sure.
And the times that the two teams have played each other, it is clear who the best
He's
player
dominated.
is. Mm-hmm. I get that on paper, the Joker has the stats all around, the assists, the blocks. His stats are very robust on all levels. But when they're playing, their teams are playing, it is clear who's the best player. Then you start talking about, but Joel's team ain't winning. Come on, man. Most valuable player.
Exactly.
Right. Most valuable player, not most valuable team. Most valuable player. And it's like sometimes the disrespect just really gets under my skin. Last year they had a reason he didn't play. This year, what's the reason? The man won the scoring title. Give him the MVP.
Just give it all around, and you even mentioned it, like you said, it's not about the best team, because if that was the case, you're talking about Devin Booker on the Phoenix Suns, who has the best record in the NBA in general. So it's like if that's the case, Devin Booker should be the MVP. But like you said, most valuable player. But Joel Embiid was the most valuable player on the 76ers team. Take him off, we're not in the playoffs this year, without a doubt.
Absolutely. We're running out of time real quickly. Yes. Let's speak some positive about Doc Rivers.
I'll try.
Because he is the 9th winningest coach in history. Regardless of how much shade people want to throw. Now, with his win this weekend, with the team's win this weekend, he actually passed Rick Alderman in this ranking. So he's now 9th. He has one more win. Right behind Larry Brown. And look at the company that he's in. Mm-hmm. I mean, regardless of what you want to say about him as a coach, he's been doing it. So, but to your point, he's set in his ways as well. So, but yeah, there's been conversations about if we don't get to where we need to get to this season, maybe getting rid of him. The 9th winningest coach in history. I'm just going to say that.
Just look at the list. Like you said, a name that pops off at me right now is George Karl. We all know he was the Denver Nuggets coach. He had Carmelo. He had Allen Iverson when we traded him away. He had some good teams, J.R. Smith, Birdman. Another one, won a lot of games, but when playoff time, it just didn't come to fruition as far as winning. But again, it's hard to win in the NBA, so I would give Doc Rivers that his credit for winning, because to be in the NBA as long as he has and actually accumulate as many wins as he has over his time in there, I give him that credit, because it's the NBA still. These are professional athletes that you have to deal with. He won everywhere he's went.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Phils real quickly. The season begun after a very strenuous lockout in baseball, and we looked pretty good that first game. We got
Oh
some new
yeah.
additions to the team. We're looking pretty good out there now. It seems like we came up a little dry yesterday with the runs. We couldn't get it together, but
Yeah.
2 out of 3 against the Athletics. How's the team real quickly looking?
I mean, like I said, it's promising. We
Yeah,
definitely have a
better
lineup
than
now.
last year.
Yes, I was saying, we have a lineup now that you can actually trust. I know the last 2 years, I know last year for sure in September we was number one in the division with a chance to make it to the playoffs. All we had to do was win one game, and we literally fell apart towards the end of the season to make it to the playoffs and in the year before. But this year is a different feeling because we literally have players, winning players like in Nick
Right.
Schwarber,
Yep.
our college. I can't say his name, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Guys like that we know. Castellano, there we
yeah.
go. He got guys like that are proven, and then guys that contributed last year, like a Bryce Harper, Gene Segura, and a Reese Hoskin, who are lower in the lineup now, but they're in their right prospective spots where we know we can get the best. So I know this past weekend we should have won all 3 to a bad Oakland A's team, but my positive I take from that is we didn't even play well and we still won those games. So definitely the Dinger Club is here. They're going to get a lot of home runs this year. They're going to be in it to the end, and I do see them making the playoffs for sure this year.
I hope, because they're getting paid a lot of money. Here's their schedule real quick. For the rest of the week, we play the Mets.
Yep.
The Phils play the Mets. So here it is starting tonight. Then, of course, our Sixers play on Saturday against Toronto. Let's take a look at that. That is a home game in South Philadelphia at 6 p.m. We have to win these first 2 home games with Matisse. And if we go down to Toronto and maybe win 1, if we're lucky, lose 2, and we'll come back and finish it off here at home. But we have to win these first 2 games, and we have to win on Saturday.
That's probably the only positive out of this whole situation is we do have home court advantage. So if for us to go to a game 7, we'll be back home. But definitely that's the plan. Win the first, defend home court as they call it, and try to steal a game on the road and put yourself in good position to be able to at least play the last remaining games with the full complement of players of the whole roster, including Matisse Thybulle.
Absolutely. That is the Playbook. I'm your host, Mina SayWhat. AB, thank you for joining us.
Yes,
People
man.
find you?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram on only1AB__ and Open Gym Podcast on YouTube and all streaming platforms. Go get it, go listen to it, and check it out.
All right. And I will catch you here as I do every Monday around 1:45 at R&B Philly on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching The Playbook. I'm your host, Mina SayWhat, and you got something you want to talk about next week? You can always hit me up on social media at Mina SayWhat, and make sure you join us 1:45 next Monday on R&B Philly's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch.